Once again, the magic words. You're live. I'm alive. You're alive, I think. Well, maybe. Or you might exist in some kind of synthetic reality that we call life. Do you eat food? Do you have to urinate occasionally? Do you drink water? Do you require sustenance to survive? Maybe you are a living thing. Maybe you are an AI bot. It's possible. Hey, Nirvana, we had a plane crash last night. I couldn't sleep last night. There was a strawberry moon, full moon, strawberry full moon. June, what is today? The 12th. So it was on the 11th, right? Couldn't sleep. So was recovering from that today. How are you guys doing today? Yeah, big plane crash in the middle of the night. So I got to listen to that on on the CNN box. And No Agenda TV covered it too. One guy got out. I still don't know how. So thanks, Orwell, today. Yeah, things are going all right. It's just listening to some music, took a shower. The Thursday night farmers market is tonight in town. So I'll go to that, get some lasagna, maybe some frozen yogurt. That's what I did last week. Think basketball might be on. I could go to a restaurant and watch basketball. We'll have to see what I eat tonight. Eating is the most exciting part of the day. So had our donut this morning. It was good. But yeah, last night couldn't sleep. Insomnia sucks. It's awful, especially when you feel like you have to stand up and walk around for no reason. It's the worst. So I had that last night, just couldn't sleep. So tough through it. I thought about not doing my show, but I thought I would come on the air. We got news going on. This war with Iran thing is a pretty big deal. Cognitive dissonant. You went thrift shopping today and found an outfit for $6. Good for you. Yeah, I used to buy all my shirts at thrift stores. There's a thrift store in town that's huge, but it's one of those fancy. See, now a lot of thrift stores are fancy thrift stores. There's my vape. Feel the need to hit it. But yeah, I used to find cool shirts. Some of my coolest shirts I would find at thrift shops, Goodwill. Mhm. So it takes a certain kind of skill to be able to go to Goodwill, buy stuff, and then resell it for a lot more money. But that's what thrift shops are a lot of places now. So let's see, message held for review. Oh, wow. Yeah, that I can't share that message. Frank Monger says you should eat some pee, bro. Come on, man. That's like we have a mixed chat. We're trying to have a good time. Mixed male and female and stuff. So yeah, we'll talk about war with Iran. This guy, Alex Padilla, he's on the TV right now, actually. He went and made a scene at Secretary Nome. She was maybe in LA. I don't know if she was in LA giving a news conference. So we still have this stuff with ICE. Trump made some interesting statements today. He's like, "Oh yeah, now like there was a big arrest at a meatpacking plant where they got like 70 illegals or something." But now he's saying, "Oh, illegals working in farming and hospitality are actually really helpful, and business owners are telling me they can't replace them. So we're actually going to leave them alone." And then he said he's going to let in 500,000 Chinese Chinese students and give them visas, and he hopes they'll stay. And then we're also going to go to war with Iran. So that's pretty exciting. The war with Iran thing is the biggest deal. Came out of left field, like nobody's talking about it basically, but Israel at any time could strike Iran. There was a warning put out by the US government today about the security situation in the Middle East and North Africa. So Israel has been on a path to do this for some time. I was listening to Nick Fuentes, who's a brilliant geopolitical analyst and isn't paid by like outside forces to like talk some company line. What's up, avec toi? I know French. We are aging in real time, sir. Am I aging? I thought I stopped my aging. I'm taking methylene blue to stop my aging and berberine. Berberine is supposed to reverse aging. So I take berberine, some other supplements, turmeric, and methylene blue to try to cease aging. Other people have aged more than me, other people on this timeline. Other people have been associated with the same kind of trolls and stuff I've been associated with. Avec toi, we both look fantastic. That's good. That's what people tell me. They're like, "Oh, you look healthy." I'm like, "Oh, cool. I eat donuts." Okay, one says berberine can increase homosexuality. Well, whatever. I still haven't gone homo yet. Oh, cognitive dissonant, you're gonna do methylene blue. You told your doctor about it? Yeah, supposedly it rebuilds mitochondria. I don't know. I only do 1 dose a day. For a second, I was doing 3 doses a day, but that started to like upset my stomach. So I'm back to 1 dose a day in the morning. It in the liquid form, it really stains, so you have to be really careful. I got it on some clothing, and I don't think it's ever gonna wash out. Yeah, I got it on a countertop, and it, like, pretty much didn't wash out of the countertop. You can get it from, Alex Jones. Now he's selling it in pills instead of in liquid form because of the it maybe it is a dye of some sort. I'm not sure, but it's very blue and it really stains. So you have to be really careful with it in the dropper form, which is what I have. So, but Alex Jones sells it. That's where I got the idea to get it. He was like going off about it, so I decided to get it. Yeah, it's a dye cognitive dissonant. Okay. Yeah, I had heard about it. And then different people are thinking about or talking about different things curing cancer. But Scott Adams said he tried these new cures and they didn't work for him. Scott Adams, I guess, is going to die of cancer, which is sad considering there's supposedly these new cures. Kevin, do I think they replaced Alex Jones? Well, he's already a clone of some sort. He's already a clone of Bill Hicks. So, apple cider vinegar, that's what I don't have, AK. I haven't gotten all my supplements back from my house because I'm living in a hotel and stuff. But yeah, apple cider vinegar, that's the one. Damn. 3 times a day. Ah, so difficult when I don't have a place to put all my stuff. But yeah, I have to get my supplements back from my house. Orwell today says Scott Adams has a 30% chance now. Hmm. But yeah, Alex Jones is looking a lot better. I noticed. I just noticed he's looking a lot healthier recently. I guess he stopped drinking so much and doing drugs or whatever he was doing. But I always question his age. I mean, I always figured he was Bill Hicks. I mean, I matched up the pictures. There's this famous, the most famous videos saying he's Bill Hicks used a mashup that I found. So they stole it from my video where they look totally identical. So, and Bill Hicks died, and then Alex Jones appeared. And Bill Hicks, the last thing he did, he was at Waco, and then Alex Jones, like the first thing he did was at Waco. So, and they kind of talk about the same things. They have the same teeth and the same facial structure and everything. So that was always one of my conspiracy theories. And then Megan Kelly is some kind of like clone or um, something for Nicole Brown Simpson, the OJ case. So she's got the same teeth and everything, but she would be a lot older. So I don't know. Maybe these clones can last longer. I'm not sure. Maybe they're advanced technology. So, Orwell, you say Trump's losing weight? I didn't realize he was losing weight. He already said he thinks Ozempic doesn't work, right? Because he said one of his fat friends is using it, and it's not working for him. So I didn't realize he was losing weight. I haven't really been watching him speak much. So June 14th is coming up. That's just in 2 days. The day of action, no kings. And they say Jesus is king. So I wonder if it's kind of like anti-Christian too. No King's Day, June 14th, the day of the military parade, the 250th anniversary of the Army, which is going to be in Washington, D.C. So they're apparently going to arrange some peaceful protests or something. So that's happening this weekend. A lot of people are predicting some kind of doom or false flag or something like that. So the military parade. I heard the weather might not be good. It's also Trump's birthday. Yeah. But he's not talking about it being his birthday. I heard it's his 79th birthday. He's gonna live forever, it seems like. Doesn't seem like he ages, and then he doesn't sleep and stuff. He's some kind of advanced, uh, automaton, some sort. The advanced bloodline, doesn't need sleep. 79 years old, still ticking pretty well. Jammers, you say it's nokings.org? Yeah, so it's gonna be like Antifa types and stuff. Kevin, you say it feels like North Korea having a military parade. Yeah, we don't do it very often, but it is the 250th anniversary. So, and then next year is the 250th anniversary of the country. So I hear we're going to have some big parades. Seems like a big deal. Seems like we should have some drone shows and fireworks and stuff to celebrate 250 years of this country. It is the best country on earth. I mean, the Constitution is really good. The founders were really good. They were influenced probably by aliens, you know. They were influenced by the Scottish Enlightenment and Adam Smith, and that's why we're supposed to use gold and silver exclusively as money, and we don't. So now we're in this debt slavery. So what do we want to talk about? So Israel has basically been on a mission to reduce the influence of Iran, their main competitor in the region. It's basically been on our list for a long time to overthrow Iran. So, ever since October 7th, which was allowed to happen, and then Israel killed their own people, they've used that as an excuse to go after all of Iran's proxies. So they've overthrown all of Iran's proxies, you know, Hamas, Hezbollah, Yemen, Syria. They overturned the government in Syria. So everywhere that Iran had proxies that could strike Israel, Israel has taken them out. So now they're ready to take out Iran. They're using this excuse of a nuclear weapon, which I guess is real. I don't know though for sure. So um, apparently they've been able to enrich uranium to a high point so that they're very close to being able to build a nuclear weapon, which is the only way they'll be able to defend themselves, basically. Which so I think they should be able to get a nuclear weapon. So then they can be like North Korea, and then we can't take them out because they have nukes. So, but Trump says they're not going to be allowed to have a nuclear weapon. But I don't know how they're going to take out the nuclear program because apparently it's deep underground in a way that even our bunker busting bombs can't get down there. So it could be imminent. I mean, they were saying it could be today. So the IEAE or whatever it's called, the international group that monitors um, um, nuclear bombs, I guess, went in there and said that Iran is out of compliance with its agreement for the first time in like 15 or 20 years. I guess it's whatever agreement that Europe has with them now, and it might have been the same agreement that Obama went into with them that Trump nullified. So they're really close to being able to enrich uranium to the point where they can make like 10 nuclear weapons, and then they'll be able to defend themselves against Israel, and that's their last chance. So Israel's made friends with everybody else. They made friends with Saudi Arabia pretty much, UAE. So, but Trump said we're not going to participate in any strikes on Iran. So Israel's got to the point where I think like they took out Iran's air defenses the last time they launched a strike against them. So they want to launch a strike before they get their air defenses back up again. So we could be going to war in Iran, basically. I guess we'll be dragged into it. So Kevin says, remember when the dollar is in jeopardy, the US goes to war. Yeah, I haven't been following the dollar, but yeah, Gina. Yeah, you say great analysis. I can only take credit. Like I listen to Nick Fuentes. Nick Fuentes is the one I listen to, so I just am repeating his analysis, to be honest. Like I don't like him. I don't like racism. I'm not racist, but when he talks about geopolitics, he's like really, really smart. He like knows exactly what's going on. So I'm only repeating what I heard on his show last night. So I can't take credit for it, Gina. If you want to listen to the geopolitical analysis, listen to him on Rumble, pretty much. Like, apparently nobody else is talking about it really. So, and I guess Tucker has been opposed to it supposedly, and some other people, and this guy Witkoff, who is in negotiations with Iran. And Trump said that we're continuing negotiations with Iran. So Gina says Bilderberg just started. Yeah, Bilderberg just started. AI is super advanced. Sam Altman says that AI has advanced to the point where it's smarter than people now. So we're already there. Basically, by 2030, we're all going to be replaced, which is like no time at all. So, um, Facebook just launched a new AI model. They call it World AI or something like that. Where so the new kind of AI can look at the environment. It's not just a large language model that just talks to you. It can actually look at the environment and evaluate things like robotics and how things move and how physics works and stuff. It can tell if a ball is about to roll off a table, for example, or like when something goes around a corner, that doesn't mean it doesn't exist anymore, stuff like that. That's what I read in this article. I was doing some research on it before the show. So, hey, Colette Whitney, new subscriber. Wow, that's cool. Thanks. Welcome to the show. Glad to have you. We're nice people here, except for the evil, evil trolls. But we haven't seen any of those yet today. Mhm. And we have people with blue wrenches who take care of them. So, but yeah, the new AI Facebook just launched. It's something called World AI or something like that. Apparently, it's open source and it can look at the environment and basically predict things. I guess it'll learn physics and everything. And that's how they'll train the robots. So, robo taxis are launching. The Waymo robotaxis were launching in LA. Those are the things that got burned down that first day of the first bad day of the riots. Those apparently work very well. Waymo, they're made by Google. and they've been testing it for years and years and years, and it's very advanced technology for self-driving cars. So I've been talking about that a lot of different episodes. So we have self-driving cars coming out. Elon is about to launch his robo taxis in Austin, Texas. So, and he posted something that said that it's smarter to launch in Austin than in Los Angeles. So I think, which is true. I saw some video of like Waymos on the freeway all in a line leaving LA. Like I think they maybe got out of there because it wasn't safe for them anymore. Not sure. Cognitive dissonant, you say you never ride in one. I predict you will. I predict we all will in the future. You might not have a choice because there might just not be human drivers. I mean, unless we do something about it and put in regulation or something, that humans have to work, like you have to hire them, then we'll all be replaced by robots pretty much. Like, I don't know about my show, but I was thinking that my show could get replaced by AI. I have fed it a lot of information. They have been able to feed off of me and my likeness and my voice and my personality. I don't know how good it's going to be. Like, if it could just clone my thought patterns and stuff, I imagined that that might be possible in the future. So, but yeah, jammers, they will drive better than regular people. It's things it's like cost, that's all. Like car insurance, I'm paying such a ridiculous amount for car insurance because of the trouble I got in driving when I was insane. And if you have a self-driving car, they just don't crash. They're just gonna get better and better and better. But even right now, they don't crash as much as humans do, because they're aware all the time. They just don't make as many mistakes as humans do because humans get distracted and computers don't. Computers don't get sleepy. They're not drunk. They're not looking down at the radio. They're always monitoring. They're always monitoring their environment. They don't have to blink their eyes or anything. They don't have to sneeze. If a bee flies in the car, you know, doesn't bother them. Long as their sensors are able to see the road, they're gonna be better than us. And then that means, like, car insurance should be really cheap, so you'll have a choice. Maybe, I mean, you can drive an old car and drive it yourself, but it's going to be cheaper. That's the whole thing. It's like a question of economics. So, it's just gonna be cheaper to call a robo taxi, basically, rather than even owning a car. So they said, they aren't wrong when they said in the future we're going to own nothing and be happy. In a way, they're not wrong. Like we might not own cars, genuinely, unless we want to own a classic car and just drive it around for fun. But even that might become like kind of costly. Not sure. Like they might designate special highways, like, as far as, I like, we don't have a good train system here in California, but actually that's not gonna be a problem because robot cars will be able to sense each other, and once there are enough of them, they can get in a line, and if they have the freeway to themselves, they can go like 100 miles an hour, 120 miles an hour in a draft line, basically like NASCAR. And as long as the freeway is clear and it's nice, good roads, I mean, we'll have to build new infrastructure and stuff for these new fleets of automated cars, but then you won't really need a train. You can just get in a car or an automated or something bigger than a car and be able to travel pretty fast on the freeway and not have to follow speed limits and stuff. Like they once there are enough of them on the road, they'll be able to sense each other. They won't have to maintain um, like extra following distance or anything because they'll all be linked up with each other. This is in the future, little further. But and then robots will very quickly become more advanced. Robotics is quickly becoming more advanced. So, and these AI models that can monitor the world will be able to program the robots a lot faster. So, once robots get into farming, that should really help us with our food. So, once robots are trained to farm, then that should make our food cheaper. So, the only thing that's going to cost us money is like rent. Um, and that's it, I guess. Food should get a lot cheaper and more abundant. That's why Bill Gates has all the farmland and stuff, I think, is because we'll farm it with robots. Just like we moved on from farming back in the day, the Industrial Revolution, tractors and stuff. We used to all farm all the time. And then I guess I don't know exactly what we're all going to do. So I'm doing this because I imagine original thought from a human being will be harder to replace. So, like talking to people and connecting with people in a human way will be one of the last things that's valuable because it'll be different than talking to a robot. Although the robots are going to get pretty good at simulating people and they will have personalities and stuff like that. So, Kevin, I can't take calls yet. No. Um, maybe I will be able to in the future. I don't know. I can't take calls yet. I'll have to get a computer and then depending on my living situation, I don't know how long I'm going to be in hotel rooms. I don't know if I'll be able to find housing based on I just don't know right now. But Kevin, you say Chat GPT is taking over therapists. Yeah. You would a therapist, like I've had therapists before. I was never that impressed by them. I would think that a good chatbot would be able to replace a therapist pretty quickly. And doctors should be able to be replaced. The scary thing is not even like there's the low end of the job scale that's being replaced, but then there's the high end of the job scale. I mean, you think about doctors, they go to medical school for all that time to get all that knowledge drilled into them so that they have it in their head and stuff. But if you can have if you just have a chat GPT in your head, or you're able to use the assistance of a robot to bring up knowledge and stuff about diseases and diagnosis and stuff, chances are that very quickly the AI will be able to diagnose disease much better than human beings because human beings aren't very good at it, to be honest. Like we give them symptoms and stuff, but they'll be able to monitor blood and be able to figure out disease a lot better than human beings in a very rapid manner, I believe. And then they'll get good at surgery and stuff like that. So we already use robots for a lot of surgeries. So Elephant Tusk says the AI needs us to generate reality. Well, reality needs an observer. So it's just a question of whether the observer has to be living or not, and whether a sensor of some sort can observe reality and replace us as organic beings. I believe in a way, like we live in a simulation. So we live in a simulation that is organic. I believe it's very unique that way. This thing we call Earth here, this creation, I believe is very unique because we have real organic life that dies and is reborn and stuff, which is important for evolution, which is real, like we evolve. So, but it is, I believe, 100% a simulation, 100%. So, based on my life experience and the things I've observed and the things I've been through with my unique mind, which is um, you could call a mental illness, but I've experienced different timelines. Um, it is a not a metaverse. It's a multiverse. There are different timelines taking place in parallel and diverging at all times. And we have things like the Mandela effect, where like history, like retro causality is real. So like time is created only in this moment, backwards and forwards. So we live in a very, very advanced simulation. It's very nice. It's very friendly. It just has suffering involved with it. And the powers that be have hijacked the suffering part. They suck on our energy, like the Matrix. It's just like the Matrix. Jammers, yeah, it's graduation weekend. I'm staying in a different town because graduation weekend and all the hotels are super expensive. You say a lot of kids fresh out of college have no jobs to go to. That's that's what I hear. The only jobs that we can do, like right now, the jobs that pay the best are like helping other people, pretty much, like maintenance jobs that robots can't do yet, pretty much. Tink, I am still in San Luis Obispo and I do like it here, but I'm homeless because I'm going through a thing with my wife. So, like, we're no longer living together. So, and I'm not employed and I have like mental health issues. I ended up in a mental hospital 3 times this year because I had episodes. I'm bipolar and I was under a great deal of stress thinking about working and stuff like that. I may be unable to do regular work because of my mental health condition. So I'm here, I'm homeless, I'm in San Luis Obispo right now. Gonna go to the farmer's market tonight, but I'm gonna run out of money probably pretty fast. So that's where I'm at right now. I'm going down to Santa Maria tomorrow for the weekend. And I may end up having to stay down there because it's going to be cheaper. I'm going to go down to like a Motel 6, which is pretty cheap. So even though I like it better here and I have my routine here, my donut shop where they have espresso drinks and stuff like that. Super nice area. The nicest place on earth, maybe. Like, just beautiful. I was just outside listening to music, looking at the scenery. Just around here, it's nice. I'm right next to the Madonna Inn, which is a famous place. I was looking at, like, the steeple for some kind of church-like thing here. Think, no, I don't have family I can stay with. I used to stay with my dad, but he had to go to long-term care, so he sold his house. Yeah. So, and then my brother and I, like, because of my mental health, I like kind of fucked up relationships and stuff when I was crazy. So, and he's got his own thing going on. He lives in the Bay Area with his family and stuff. So I don't really have anywhere to stay. I don't really have any friends or anything in the area that I can stay with. So I'm trying to work it out. I was looking at rentals. I was looking at shared housing. Airbnbs, no, I looked, they're not really any cheaper. If you stay in a cheap hotel, it's pretty much cheaper than an Airbnb for the most part. Like, you can get one for like $50 a day down in Santa Maria at least. I think where I'm staying now is like 65 a day or something like I mean, it can be pretty cheap, but it's still expensive when you don't have real income. Oh, you can donate to the show at any time. I need that for food and lodging and stuff. So you can donate to the show anytime. You can give me super chats, but better is buymeacoffee.com/lift the veil or Cash App at $ LTV411. Any amounts are appreciated. I try to keep myself nourished as well as possible. So yeah, I did look at Airbnbs. The cheapest thing for me would be if maybe I can get like student housing. I can get, like, shared rooms pretty cheap for, like, $1,000 a month or something. So, I might be able to swing something like that. So, I looked into it. The only thing is I might have a sketchy online history because of when I had mental health episodes. Um, I was accused of crimes, which I wasn't convicted for, but then it still shows up, I guess. And so I just don't know. And then I'm weird on the internet. So there's like stories about me, satanic ritual abuse too. Like, who knows? And people around here are liberal. Like, I saw an ad for a place where the guy's like, oh, we're liberal and we like-minded people. So I don't know if they would think that if they would go to my Twitter or something and see that I support Trump or that I talk about the Jays, you know what I mean? So it's one of those things. Mike, could Defango scrub your history for you? Well, maybe I think about it. I mean, I was talking yesterday on my show about deleting my Twitter account. And I was going through there deleting tweets. I was making a lot of crazy tweets. I was going through an episode, man. It was crazy. But I saw some of the craziest shit and the craziest people. I experienced some just like I just experienced different worlds, time travel, and different timelines. You know, I just experienced different things to regular people when I'm in one of these episodes. I have this heightened ability to like kind of just change reality. And that's why I realized it's a simulation and that our observation is so important because I would experience things that were totally real, 100% real, but different from what other people experience. You know, I had this one really magical night just out at the farmer's market where everybody was coming up and talking to me and trying to, it was like people knew who I was. Like, that's what would happen to me. People would come up and talk to me like they knew me and wanted to like know what I was talking about and stuff. It's really weird. Crazy experience. Like people would come up to me and say that they knew me, and I didn't know them. And it was like they knew me from another life, or they were aliens visiting in human form or something, like extended family or something like that. Elephant tusks? Yeah, I guess I am aware of that. You say, I'll read your post. Nathan, if reality is generated new every second. Oh, thanks, Gina. 3 coffees is great. That'll help me buy dinner tonight. Thank you for that, Gina. Appreciate it. Thanks, Gina. Elephant tusk, Nathan, if reality is generated new every second and the past is non-existent, are you aware you can become a new version of yourself by quantum shifting? Yeah, I've done it. I've done it. When I have a bipolar episode, I experience miracles. I go on different timelines. I'll go out there in the world and things are different. And people like, I don't know, like I'll have people like I had a guy in the street who's like, "You're Steve Jobs," you know, shit like that. Or I'd walk into a dance club and everybody's like, it's like everybody knows me there, even though they don't and stuff. It's like I was shape shifting, that you could like change clothes and like shape shift and be a different person. And then the music, you know, the music would be like just for me, kind of. Yeah, it's really amazing. So, yeah, that's the crazy thing about having this condition is it's like magical in some ways. Oh, and the radio, like things would come over the radio. Like I'd be listening to a Christian channel, and it would play like a message almost, and it was real, you know? It was totally real. I could tell it was real. It wasn't like it wasn't real. So yeah, I would have crazy experiences. So I need to get on a new timeline where the mental illness and poverty is non-existent. Well, I feel very stable now. I guess it was living with my wife was making me crazy. I guess marriages do make people crazy because you end up fighting a lot. So it was just the stress. There was the stress in the marriage, and like she wanted something different, from what I was doing, and I was having trouble working, basically. Um, so yeah, but I'm much more stable now, which I think people should be relatively evident. I'm not having those magical experiences anymore. So you say my wife is reflecting my own internal world. Yeah, yeah. I was being trolled. I was being trolled by demons too. So Lester Green tried to get a job doing carts at the farmers market. No, they don't do carts there. I tried to get a job once pushing carts at Target, but they didn't call me. So I might look into that again. Right now, I've just been trying to get on my feet. I mean, I only got out of the mental institution the most recent time. It's only been like 3 weeks or something like that. So I've just been trying to stay stable, keep a routine, take my meds, etc. So I don't know. I haven't been able to hold a regular job for a long time. That's all. And I got a job last year and then I ended up getting fired. So a job that I should have been really good at. And I was really, really depressed the whole time. So I don't want to get in that mind state, like where I was like suicidal, you know what I mean? Like I didn't want to be like that. So I just don't know. My mind doesn't really work quite right for that. So I'm looking to get on disability and stuff like that. So, and I can do my show, and maybe my show will get better, and maybe my show will get bigger if I can get a setup and get my computer back and be able to take phone calls and do interviews. People like me. People like hearing me talk. I know that. People tell me that. So I think it's harder with this just the phone setup and not be able to play clips and stuff. But you haven't been able to find a job with your degree for a year now? Yeah, I heard a lot of that. Nutfugget, yeah, I'm gonna look into disability. I think I'm gonna go in there into Social Security tomorrow. But my doctor says he'll recommend me for it. I mean, I was in the mental. I got taken in on 5150 times just this year, and then in 2023 it was 2 or 3 times, I think. And I mean, I've had episodes. I just have episodes. So when I get stressed out, like things can get really bad. So I should qualify. It's just going to take some time. So I'm kind of like a useless eater, basically, but I'll do my show. I've been doing my show every day. So that gives me some purpose and stuff. People have been donating to my show. I got big donations one day. So that helped me get a hotel room for the weekend and stuff. But yeah, elephant tusks. I hear what you're saying. You're right. Yeah, I realize that. I realize that everything's a manifestation of my internal world. So I'm trying to keep my internal world good and manifest good things. And now we have good people manifested in the chat, not too many trolls. So I had to deal with some trolls, like who are also like witches, like satanic, basically, that were influencing me also. So I was being psychically attacked at like on a higher plane. So Lester Green, your brother ended up going to jail because he had meth psychosis. Interesting. Well, I did a bunch of meth, so that might have fucked me up. Not sure, but I'm not sure if it did or not because I seem to have recovered from it. But I did do a bunch of meth. But I have ADHD, so I was also prescribed amphetamine, which really helped me before, but I'm not taking it anymore. You did a bunch of Molly jammers? Yeah, I did that in college too. Not Fugget, you did a pound of meth one summer? One summer, wow. That's something else. So, yeah, I was doing a bunch. Yeah, I made a bunch of money selling cars and stuff, and I just blew it all. I would go to strip clubs and hookers and meth and stuff like that. I would just blow it all. That was the problem I had. I would, if I had saved that money and bought Bitcoin back in the day when I was making like 100, $200,000 a year, that would have been cool. That sucks, Lester. There's nothing you can do to get him. Yeah, he thinks he's being attacked by sonar weapons. See, I'm lucky I don't have any of those delusions. But I do have the delusions that like I use mind control with my music and stuff. I do have that delusion. Like I do have like the delusion, if you want to call it that, that I get like messages and stuff through music. More when I'm having an episode, but even when I'm not, like I use music to help kind of program me and stuff. And I did notice, like when I was doing meditation and stuff, like the music sometimes, like you would get a message, like it would say something that was like relevant to what you were doing and stuff. Like you can get on I was talking about that a little bit. You can just get on this vibe where the music you're listening to is kind of like synced up with your life and stuff. So I got on this vibe, and some other people got on the same vibe. So I look for messages. I mean, we're supposed to look for signs in the world around us. I mean, we are supposed to look for signs. It says that in the books. So I look for signs, numbers, um, and sounds and stuff. And I play my music on like a type of shuffle, you know. So like when a particular song comes on or a particular message comes through, because your mind is selective about what it lets in. So like when you're listening to music, like a lot of times you're not hearing the lyrics and then you hear it, you know. Yeah, it might be telling you something. That's all. It's totally possible. Jammers, you always see 9/11. That's Jesus's birthday. That's a big one. 9/11. So cognitive, you had hypomania, and you're always disappointed when it was over. Yeah, it's hard because the manic phases are so amazing. It's hard when you come down from it, you know? Like, because I had such an amazing experience, like going out to the farmer's market this one night and then listening to things this one night and stuff and having the technology interact with me certain times. It would be so amazing and incredible that it is hard to come down from. The relate my relationships get so fucked up. I would be mean to people and I would have rage that would come out. So I had a lot of rage inside of me that would come out. And so I would take it out on people close to me and stuff a little bit. So I fucked up a lot of relationships. Hey, X Doctor Firefly, good to see you, man. Happy Thursday. Thursday is the day, farmer's market day. So lasagna, just like Garfield likes. Garfield used to be my favorite comic book. So, all right. Anything else? On the news, they just keep playing this conflict with this guy, Alex Padilla, who showed up at this Christy Nome conference and got tackled. Like, that's a big deal. We had the airplane crash. I don't know exactly why it happened. The airplane was only up for like 30 seconds. It got up to like 600 feet and then sunk for no good reason. Bunch of people died. Ran into a building, killed some people. I heard it was like 300 people died total, 242 on the airplane, but maybe it was only 241. Thanks, Wandering One. Good to see you again. Glad I was able to do almost a full show today. I'm thinking about wrapping up. Oh, thanks, Tink. Thanks, Tink. I'll reply to that. Um, I see that you're sympathizing with what you're going through. Like, I hope, like, I can tell a lot of people are going through difficult phases. Like, a lot of people who are tuned in are tuned into my frequencies. They're going through difficult things too. A lot of people who tune in. So I hope that this show is like um helpful for you in some way. You who are also struggling. I can tell a lot of people are struggling right now. It's a difficult time because we're being replaced and they want us to continue suffering and feed off of our suffering. So, like, we're being replaced by machines right now. And it's only going to get worse all the time. And they're just putting us on this treadmill. They're just putting us on a treadmill where, they feed off our suffering. It's mostly financial and debt based. So I have like financial anxiety for the most part. So we're hoping to get into an age where there is no more suffering, but we need to have assets. We need to have property. We need to have silver, gold, or Bitcoin to be able to make it through, probably, because they're going to keep printing money and they're going to keep us in debt. So the debt system is like our biggest killer. So, but it's hard to be able to make money enough to be able to buy assets, but you got to be able to just buy a little bit. Bitcoin should, really go up a lot. It should continue to. It hasn't done as much as it should have so far this year, but thanks, Smucker. You wish you had a place for me to stay? Yeah, that'd be cool. I'm talking to some people who might. I'm talking to some people. You can always contact me by text at the show's phone number 650 gay taxi. That's my Google Voice phone number. You can text me there if you're thinking about getting a place to live or whatever. You think we'd be friends or whatever. You can contact me. I'm talking to a few people who are also looking for places to live. So I might have to leave this area because it's so expensive and I'm going to be on like a fixed income and stuff. But in California, they take care of my health care. So that's one advantage. And you can get kind of good benefits here. So, but I am in a very expensive city. So, yeah, ex Dr. Firefly, he's got a farm in West Virginia. He's checked out, he's self sustaining. So, thanks, Jammers. Yeah, buymeacoffee.com/lift the veil. Or Cash App $ LTV411. I got a few coffees this show. Thanks for that. That's way better than giving super chats because Google doesn't take their 30%. So I appreciate it. People who've moved on and done the homestead thing, they're the ones who are doing the best. And maybe they sell herbs or something like that. They're the ones who are doing the best. But there will be things to buy still. We'll still have to buy food. I mean, it's not going to be free. Things aren't going to be free. I don't think. We'll still need water, but and we'll have to hope that the humans that control the technology are not evil, but a lot of them are going to be. They want to control us. So, or they're taken over by evil spirits that want to control us. So, please do a good job vetting roommates. Yeah. Yeah. Yep. I have to do that. I have to use my psychic abilities to weed people out, people who are cool and stuff. So yeah, I know. I can't just live with anybody. Thanks, Lester Green. Thanks for the super chat. I'm hanging in there. Good chatting with you too. Sorry you're having problems with your brother, you said, who's got the meth psychosis. That sucks. Cognitive dissonance says you freak out people spending hundreds of dollars on Pokemon cards. Well, Pokemon cards might not be bad. My computer is with my wife, who's in the house I used to live with. So I'm in a hotel room, so I can't carry around. It's a huge computer. So, and I don't have a laptop right now. So I might be getting one. I have a tax return coming still. So the government held on to my tax return because of I hadn't filed taxes appropriately 1 year when I didn't make enough money to have to file taxes. So, But I have a tax return coming. I might get a computer, like a MacBook Air or something like that, that I can sync up my phone to use as my camera and stuff. So Pokemon cards actually aren't that bad of an investment. They are scarce, limited, and desirable. So anything that's scarce and desirable. But I don't know if Pokemon cards will be forever. Gold will be forever, probably. Silver will be forever, probably, because it's used in a lot of technology. And Bitcoin probably will be forever, probably forever. So, and then human thought, yeah, cognitive dissonant. You say you're scarce and desirable. Yeah, that's what I have to hope too, is that my original thought continues to be scarce and desirable, and that people still enjoy tuning in. So we're doing pretty good though. We're getting people tuned in. We're getting like over 60 people every show. That's not bad. You collect ancient coins like Roman and Greek coins, Lester. Yeah, that's good. Those are good too. Yeah. Although in the end, the bullion is the one that's more um stable. Just bullion, just silver or gold bullion is what's going to be most stable because it's just the metal then that's desirable. But yeah, you guys are all scarce and desirable. You guys are all valuable. Okay, I'm trying to get it to an hour. So we have another 3 minutes. Thanks, people who gave me super chats. Appreciate it. Gonna try to have a good time tonight. Lester Green, your brother called into my show a long time ago about how he told about how he had opioid withdrawal. Yeah, I was addicted to opioids and benzos at the same time. Oh, that's cool. You used to watch my show together? That's cool, Lester. It's sad to hear that he's gone downhill and he's in jail now. That sucks. I've been there. Not in jail for too long, but I've been to jail and stuff. Pink says cherish people and use things. Getting that backwards causes most of the world's ills. Yeah, you don't want to use people. That's what the bad things do, the bad entities. So we fought off the bad entities. Didn't even have any show up in the chat today. No Gabe Hoffmans, none of the people accusing me of things, doxing, and so forth. So that's good. Had a pretty good day so far in the chat today. So that's good. Had a new subscriber. That's good. So we're back on the scene. I tuned into David Seaman. David Seaman got his channel back, I guess. He does live streams, but there's Jelena. Hey, Jelena, good to see you. Sending good vibes. That's good. Maybe Jelena will want to be on the show again in the future. What was jail like for me? It was crazy. I wasn't in there for that long, but I was off my meds. I was having crazy experiences and like lucid dreams and stuff. It was crazy. I was having a crazy time, but I just stayed in my cell the whole time. I had a cell all to myself. It wasn't that bad. It really wasn't bad at all. And it wasn't bad at all. I've been to jail twice, once overnight, and I was crazy both times. But really it wasn't that bad. It was what I was scared of the most. They're giving him Suboxone in jail. Yeah, I was on Suboxone for a long time. It helped with the withdrawal for sure. And it was hard to kick. The Suboxone itself is very hard to kick, but I did kick it in the end. So you just have to keep taking less and less and have to deal with the suffering a little bit. You just have to deal with suffering, you know, because those opioids make you feel dependent. And then it's like your brain actually tricks you into thinking you're going to die, basically, from not taking the opioids. It's a really bad addiction. It lets in demonic spirits. So, yeah, so you don't want to get addicted to opioids. And if you're on them, you want to get off. Yeah, it just gets you on a lower vibration. And it doesn't and you just you need more and more is the problem. So, But benzos are even worse, even harder to get off of once you're addicted to them. I was taking like 6 Xanax a day and then drinking beer on top of it. I'm very blessed. Like I don't have any addictions anymore. So yeah, I hope jail isn't too rough for him. I hope so too, Lester. I wasn't in there that long. I don't know how long he's been going. How he has to be in there. That's not that good. Thanks, Shammers, for posting that again. Yep. Buy me a coffee anytime. Buymeacoffee.com/lift the veil. Cash App $ LTV411. Appreciate you guys who contribute. I've done an hour, which is pretty good. I feel like we're just rehashing stuff a little bit now, so I think we're good. I think we're good. So thanks everybody for tuning in. Appreciate you guys. Thanks for the coffees. Appreciate that. And thanks for the well wishes and the positive vibes in the chat. Glad everybody's getting along. And I'll see you most likely tomorrow from my new hotel room. So, all right. So for now, have a good night. And that is what it is.